Brawl Stars is in serious need of a really good update. So let's help Supercell out. Here are 14 amazing ideas that Brawl Stars should add to the game. Even if they just do half of these ideas, it would be a really good update. Let's do it. All right, now, one low-key, really big problem that Brawl Stars has that no one is talking about is as a new player coming to the game, it has become increasingly way more difficult to get anywhere close to maxing your count out. I mean, obviously, every update we get a new brawler. There's already 58 brawlers. That's a lot. So we need something to help people out. How about this? A favorite brawler concept. You have a brawler that you really love to play, favorite it, and with this system, you're more likely to get power points for that brawler specifically. It's not like going to be a huge increase in the percentage that'll go towards that brawler, but you know, something, because in this way, you know, max out the brawlers that you like playing. You're still not going to get, you know, a max account faster, but you'll max out the brawlers that you like to play faster, which is also important. Oh, and not just the power points, but also the gadgets and the star powers get a small increase in drop rate for that brawler, but also even maybe something like increasing the pin drop rate for the brawler. I mean, hey, maybe it makes people a little bit more likely to spend their cash, or at least like the dolphins, not the whales. The whales will do it regardless. Another idea that Brawl Stars could really use and would improve the game a lot, in my opinion, is Masteries. Obviously, Clash Royale just recently got Masteries. Why don't we add it to Brawl Stars? And partially why I think it would be awesome for Brawl Stars is because in Brawl Stars, your trophies constantly reset, and it makes it so whatever trophy level you have on that brawler is not really a good indication of how good you are with that brawler, or for another matter, how good you are with that game mode. So adding Masteries for not only brawlers, but game modes, and then adding different levels like you have here, and of course, every level has different requirements in order to get there, whether that's wins, kills, damage, whatever it might be, or, you know, a variety of different quests that you might have to do in order to give you more points in that mastery. Just kind of really showing you that you're an actual, not like pro, but, you know, maybe not your average casual, perhaps. I mean, just putting something like this into the game that gives a maybe better indicator of your skill level, your opponent's, your teammates' skill level, and then maybe somehow it could be incorporated into matchmaking. Maybe you do like masteries for that game mode, or you could have challenges based on masteries, because let's be real, we all know challenge matchmaking is completely awful if you do it with randoms. In any challenge, you get like 5K, 2K trophy players all the time. So just something like this would be really cool. But wait, what about a report button, please? We've been asking for this for so long, and I think we kind of understand why it's not exactly in the game, because it could potentially cause a lot of manpower for Supercell to have to actually be able to run this type of system. But, I mean, let's be real, the amount of trolling that happens in like Power League and even in Club League, at least make a reporting system for the competitive modes. At a minimum, you know, if it's only for that, I think we'd be pretty happy with it, right? At a minimum, that would be not bad, and that's what needs it the most. I mean, I don't think you can probably report people for teaming and showdown, but people who throw the game, or, you know, I think that's worth reporting. Now, there's also a lot of cosmetic ideas that could go in a unique direction. That would be really cool to add. What about adding more brawler animations that you can possibly buy and that will show up at like the winning screen or the losing screen? I mean, let's please learn from sprays and not make these too expensive, okay? But I think adding more customizations like this, there could be a lot of potential that would be really fun that you could add to the game. And to be honest, this sort of thing has to be easier than skins, right? Making a whole new skin and doing animations for that. You're just doing a base custom model and adding an animation, right? So it should be cool. Something else that could be pretty fun and kind of like help you identify your teammates and maybe your opponent's skill level would be player banners. And there could be a lot of different options for player banners, whether it's based on the achievements you have in trophy pushing, or in Power League, or in Club League, or maybe you're one of the lucky few people who made a Supercell Make skin. I mean, whatever achievement you possibly have gained in Brawl Stars, whether that's spinning 1,000 times in Showdown, I don't know. Okay, there's a lot of different things that you could do. Let's be real. I think it would be kind of cool to just add this. And then on the end screen for the game, or maybe even the start screen as well, when it flashes up, you could show those banners to kind of show off to yourself, to your teammates, to your whatever, your enemies. I think it'd be kind of cool. Now, this is kind of a similar vein, but it's banners. And these banners would show up when the match starts, but they're way more flashy. And it really kind of adds more personality, and it's not just like achievement based, it's more just like fun based and cosmetic based. So potentially adding these really cool banners that show up maybe even when someone's looking at your profile or when the match starts to give some, you know, customization, individuality. You can also unlock these possibly, make them as a reward for a challenge or for some crazy long quest or something. Or even having it show up when you kill someone as like the background behind the kill. I think that could be really cool. Just, you know, obviously it's not like that important, but any little things that add fun to the game. I mean, look, little stuff can go a long way. That's what she said. Okay. Now, one game mode idea that a lot of the community was excited to possibly add into Brawl Stars was Payload. But we all know that didn't actually turn out that well, now did it? So here's an improvement that could make Payload the mode it deserves to be. Let's call it Bodyguard. And in this case, just take a look at the map, it'll kind of give you a better idea. The point is each team has one VIP that has a lot of extra health, and the goal of the two teammates is to protect the VIP. Now that VIP can die, you know, more than once, so it's not just like an instant KO, but they only have 3 lives. So obviously the goal is the bodyguards need to protect the VIP. Now, of course, there could be trolling in this mode, but there could be trolling in any mode. All right, let's be real. But in general, I think this solves a lot of the problems that Payload had, which is where the payload was going in such an obvious direction and location that it made brawlers who have oppressive area control just way too strong. In this case, the VIP can move around and do different things, and you can make different combos with your bodyguards as well. I think there's a lot more potential with this idea. Another game mode type idea I'd really like to see added to Brawl Stars is kind of related to Map Maker, but really just taking advantage of some of the crazy maps that do occasionally show up in Map Maker that are actually fun. And yes, they're a little bit troll, but this is just for fun, not for trophies, and it's mini-game related. And the main idea is there's a bunch of different types of mini-games, and let's be honest, there are a lot of maps that have shown up that could fit into a lot of these different categories, whether it's a race type map or a maze, or you make it a Dyna-Jump type map and everyone who plays it is automatically Dynamite with Dyna-Jump, whether you have that unlocked or not. This sort of thing could be really cool. Of course, it couldn't be for trophies, but just as far as stuff that's for fun, I think there's a lot of potential with this. I mean, Brawl Stars is honestly all about variety and like casual based fun if we're being real. So I think this goes further in that direction, so why not? Another thing that should really be added to Brawl Stars is stats. And I know this isn't some new or crazy idea, but here's my take on it. Okay, first off, can we just try it out, but strictly only in Bounty? Because I understand there are issues with stats in objective-based game modes, but in Bounty, the whole goal is kills and deaths. So put on damage, you know, health healed maybe, kills and deaths, stuff like that. I mean, just add it on. Maybe you don't need to add on what your teammates' stats are. That way you're not like able to BM people in your team chat possibly. You only have your own stats. That could make it a little bit less toxic, and it's not like it's going in your profile. It's just there for that game. You know, extra info, it could be pretty fun. Another small thing that could be cool that I've kind of wanted for a long time is an improvement to Brawl TV where you can actually choose what you want to watch. It's maybe a small amount of fun that it's like kind of random, but let's be honest, there's a lot of stuff I just don't care for, and I just end up pressing exit and then going back in and trying to find something actually interesting. Well, how about just like, you know, delete the stuff you don't want to watch and just watch the stuff you do? I know, crazy, right? Now, going in a completely different direction, another thing I'd really like to see in Brawl Stars is more different map elements. What about something like higher walls? And I actually think I've touched on this before, but I really like this idea because it makes it throwers are one of the most annoying brawlers in the game, in my opinion, and this could maybe lessen that to a degree, right? Make these walls that throwers can't actually throw over. Whoa, awesome, right? I think this will be really cool. The one thing I'm a little worried about is it's kind of like 2 stories high. Could you like visually hide behind these walls? You would need to make sure that doesn't happen because that would be kind of awkward. But I mean, as long as it works visually, I think gameplay wise, it would be quite fun to have something like that. Also, I don't know if it's just me, but the stop pins are some of my favorite pins. Can we get these for like every brawler? I don't know how necessary this is exactly, but I don't care. Just do it! Some other quality of life improvements would be great for clubs as well. Stuff like being able to share maps or even friendly matches into the chat of your club. Just automatically putting it in there. They can go straight into your room, or they can preview your map and decide whether it's good or bad. I mean, similar things like that is already in other Supercell games where you can share friendly matches into the club or guild chat. So why not have it in Brawl Stars as well? And also something that can help a lot with managing clubs is being able to DM people. Whether it's DMing people on your friends list or just like as a president or vice president, DMing members, like, you know, as a reminder, like, hey, get your freaking matches in. Okay, please. Yeah, good, okay. But you know something that really pisses me off in Brawl Stars? It's the censorship. Man, there's so many times the censorship just makes absolutely no sense. Doesn't make any sense. You're not even like whatsoever, and it just censors stuff. Why? So, okay, maybe this isn't like a game-breaking idea, but can we please improve the censorship? If you enjoyed this, check out more great ideas to improve Brawl Stars right over there. I'm sure you'll also enjoy. Thanks for watching this one, and I'll catch you later. Peace.